Hey guys, so today we're actually going to be talking about this Micaiah Bryant stuff. I'm basically just going to go through all these stupid things that people have been saying on TikTok. I think it's really good to get an idea of all the crap and, sewage that people spew out of their mouths on TikTok specifically, since that's where I, am from mainly when it comes to content. So we're just going to go through a few of these and just, this will give us some more information about the situation. This will give us some idea of how people twist things around. It'll be great. Let's go with this guy.
Rest in peace to Micaiah Bryant. I hate to be the one to say that this is definitely going to be considered a justified killing for the simple fact she was chasing somebody with a knife, and if she would have killed that person's family would have been blaming the police department.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I feel like most people who would be more right-leaning, if they said that, they would get some flack. So I'm okay with that statement.
I also believe that a trained officer who takes target practice should have been able to shoot and disarm her without shooting her down in cold blood. He could have shot her in the leg, her shoulder.
No, okay, so now we went off the rails a little bit. I think, I understand where he's coming from with this. I can understand where someone might be coming from when they're like, oh, maybe you don't have to shoot to kill when it's a situation like this. Maybe you can just try to do something else. That way it gets them to stop or whatnot. This is a really faulty understanding of how the police work, of how guns work, and how situations like this work in general. I think even Biden said this at one point, we need to train officers to be able to shoot in the foot or something like that. Something really stupid. People just don't understand this. If you have enough time to take your time, aim in, and actually focus in on someone's leg or someone's arm, then that means that the threat isn't imminent enough to use lethal force, which that's what a gun is, right? At that point, you should be using a taser or pepper spray or something like that, because the threat obviously isn't that imminent. But when you have someone who's actually about to stab someone, which is what was going on in this instance, then you can't use a taser or pepper spray. Number one, tasers just don't work that often, and pepper spray, he was obviously behind her and he just got there. He didn't really have time to use pepper spray. The girl was all around. If you haven't seen the video, you should go watch it for yourself. But this idea, I feel like this guy's coming from a good place, but I don't think it's a good assessment. It just needs some more thought. It needs some more research on this.
Anything, he did not have to shoot her down like that. I also believe that any grown-ups, any adults on the scene, parent or not, should have known not to let no 16-year-old black girl chase nobody down with no knife while the police are on the scene. That was not smart at all.
True. If you have a 16-year-old girl, you probably shouldn't let her you shouldn't let her escalate a fight with a knife. That seems like the last thing you should be doing when someone's having some altercation on your lawn. That seems like a terrible idea.
Regardless if she was at home or at somebody else's house, I think the whole thing could have been avoided if the grown-ups there would have stepped in and took control. Now we got another black person dead at the hands of the officer, yeah. And we are pointing the finger in the wrong direction this time.
True. Very true. I like this guy's video. Pretty fair video. Nice video. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Let's go. This is an easy one. Let's go. So it's pro self-defense until it comes to a black girl trying to defend herself. Micaiah Bryant should still be here. Is this it? Is this the whole video? Cool. All right, so this gets a little complicated because when we're talking about self-defense in this case has got to be a pretty hard understanding of self-defense. So from what I understand, Ohio is a stand your ground state. Let's see here. This is the one I was looking at earlier. Okay, so it says in Ohio, there's a legal presumption that a person acts in self-defense when he or she uses force against anyone who unlawfully enters his or her residence or vehicle. Additionally, Ohio adheres to the castle doctrine, meaning that you don't have to have a duty to retreat before using force in your residence or vehicle. So they describe residence as dwelling in which a person resides temporarily, permanently, or visiting as a guest. I don't know if this definition includes a yard. Obviously this would include someone's house, but I don't know if that includes someone's yard. So legally, I think this gets a little washy. It gets a little confusing. And if it does include your yard, I think she would still be protected under castle doctrine, because it says you don't have a duty to retreat before using force in your residence or vehicle. So the case is going to be really hard to analyze, I think, because you have what seems to be an altercation absent of you on the lawn, which is not in your house. So I don't know if residence includes your lawns. That's the first hard part. But then the other part that's going to also be kind of hard is that even if we decide that she was legally justified in using self-defense in this instance, that doesn't necessarily mean that the cop wasn't also justified in his shooting. I think this is what actually happened in the Breonna Taylor case. I think the judge or the court decided that the guy who was shooting in the house with Breonna Taylor, that he was justified, and the cops were also justified in shooting back. And so this could be about the same case, because like, if you watch the video, the cops just rolled up. They don't know who Ma'Khia Bryant? They don't know who Ma'Khia Bryant is in this whole situation. All they see is a girl who's running at someone trying to stab them. And probably from what they heard of on the 911 call, we don't have the 911 call yet, but from what they heard of, there's some altercation that's going on the lawn. And so when they pull up and they see someone about to stab someone, obviously the assumption is probably going to be like, this person's just trying to kill someone. They're not probably thinking of like, oh, castle doctrine and self-defense laws and whatnot. And so that gets very hard legally. Plus, another problem with this video is that it assumes that she was actually included in the altercation. Again, I talked about this on my video on TikTok, but we have no idea yet, at least not as of right now, that she was actually being attacked by these girls that were on her lawn. We have no idea. I mean, it could be that, or from the reading that's in the articles, it could also just be that she was in her house making the call to 911 saying, hey, there's some girls on my lawn that are fighting. Especially with how it's worded, that's actually the implication that I got, was that she was calling 911 saying, like, there's these girls fighting on my lawn. Can you come break this up? When it comes to this situation on a moral level, it also gets pretty complicated, I think. Generally, I believe in property rights. So if someone's like on your lawn and is trying to use your property or steal your property, I think you do have a right to defend against that using lethal force, as long as it's like stated somewhat that that's what you will do if someone tries to steal your property. I think that's okay. The problem is, though, like, number one, we can probably assume that she wasn't saying like, get off my lawn. But maybe she was saying get off my lawn, or I'll use lethal force, or I'll stab you, or whatever. But then again, what also makes this hard is that these two girls, I think there were two of them, these two girls that were on her lawn, these girls weren't necessarily like trying to use her property or trying to steal something from her property. We don't even know if like they meant to be on her lawn. Maybe they were on the sidewalk, which would technically just be like public property from what I understand. Although maybe I could be wrong on that. Maybe sidewalks, I could be totally wrong on that. Maybe sidewalks actually belong to the property of whatever house they're in front of, or whatever's on their property. I could be wrong on that. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. We could totally have a situation, just like on the legal level, that the girl is justified in what she did, and the cop is also justified in shooting her. We could have that instance when it comes to the moral level as well.
With Derek Chauvin receiving his guilty verdict, you would think that today would be a day of celebration. And for some it is, but for a lot of others, it's a day of mourning.
What is this room? What is going on here?
Roughly 30 minutes or so after the verdict was announced, there was a 15-year-old girl named Ma'Khia Bryant,
16.
a freshman in high school, who
I've gotten that correction a few times. People are really, really careful to be like, no, her name's Ma'Khia, and then they're doing the same thing with her age too. But they do this all the time. They do this with Kamala, right? Because it's not Kamala, or wait, it's Kamala Harris. That's right. Oh no, I'm gonna get lefties mad at me on this video now too.
out of fear placed a call to the police because there were girls outside who were wanting to jump her. And somehow, in some way, all the
wanting to jump her. Yeah. Can someone give me the proof on that? I would love to see that. Please. Do we have any proof here? Where is this narrative coming from? I keep on hearing this. Is that like is that people were there to jump her. Does self-defense no longer apply once you're black? How do we know that she was the one being attacked? How do you know this? Where are they getting this from? I just want to know. Oh my gosh. I just want to know who's telling them this. Is there an article out there that says this? I've read so many articles on this and I just have not found it yet. I don't understand. Oh my gosh.
Information is still not public yet, but a police officer deemed the 15-year-old child a threat because she was holding a knife that she was using to defend herself against her attacker.
How was he supposed to know? How in the world was he supposed to know that she was defending herself? Okay, he does not know who Micaiah Bryant is. Oh my gosh, these people are brain dead. I swear. Golly. Oh gosh.
This officer then shot Micaiah and killed her. What I struggle to understand is how in this same year a white male teenager is able to kill 2 people and is brought in peacefully. However, a black female teenager...
I don't know what he's referring to there. Someone should tell me what he's referring to there.
...had a knife only to protect herself and even placed the call to the police is deemed a threat. And
the cops did not know that she was defending herself. They just got there. How were they supposed to know that? All they saw was a girl that was trying to stab some other girl. What?
Deemed worthy to kill. With Derek Chauvin.
Okay. This guy's an idiot. I rank this one about like a -2 out of 10. Maybe even lower. Maybe like a -13 out of 10. All right, let's go this one. Jeez. It's giving me brain.
Her name was Micaiah Bryant. She was shot by the Columbus Police Department after she called them for help. This is her.
What does that matter? Hold on. Let's listen to that one more time here.
Her name was Micaiah Bryant. She was shot by the Columbus Police Department after she called them for help.
She was shot after she called them for help. Can someone explain to me? Can someone please explain to me what power does a cop have to have? Do they have to have like this like all-knowing intellectual power that exists within them, that as soon as they show up, they're supposed to totally identify, maybe by the sound and the pitch of their voice, they're supposed to have some perfect ears that can say, this girl that's yelling, that was the one that called us on 911. By the way, I don't even think the actual police people who come to your house are the people who actually were on the phone with you. Those are dispatchers. So this is really just stupid. Again, same point.
This is her. And I want y'all to watch this video and see how her mother wants people to remember her.
She was a very loving, peaceful little girl. She was 16
She wasn't very peaceful when she was waving that knife around.
years old. She was an honor roll student. And Micaiah had a motherly nature about her. She promoted peace.
I'm sorry, there's so many memes that can come out of this. She had a motherly nature to her, you know? She had a motherly nature to her. The kind of mother that wants to kill you.
And that's something that I want to always be remembered.
This is the person that shot her.
Oh my god.
This killer cop right here.
This killer
And he
cop.
needs to be held accountable
This killer cop. Let his blood run in the streets for days.
for shooting a 16-year-old child. Justice for Micaiah Bryant.
Justice for
Her name
Micaiah
was
Bryant.
Micaiah
Justice
Bryant.
for Micaiah Bryant. Why
She
is
was
her,
shot by the Columbus
her hands
Police
like this
Department
entire
after
video?
she called them for help. This is her. And I want y'all to watch this video and see how
She's the
her
one who
mother
called,
wants
and they
people
killed
to
her.
remember her.
She was a very loving.
What an idiot. Gosh. Okay, next one.
16-year-old Micaiah Bryant was murdered by police in Columbus, Ohio yesterday after calling 911 for help. She was using a knife as self-defense in a stand-your-ground state when an officer...
Stand your ground state. Again, the officers don't know who Micaiah Bryant is when they show up. All they see is a girl that's trying to stab someone else. And I don't know, stand your ground doesn't necessarily mean anything. We don't know anything about the situation. We don't know if like the lawn includes the residents. That totally could. But we don't know if like the altercation was fine, it had been resolved, and then, you know, then she started swinging her knife. I don't think she would probably be justified if that was the case. Like, there's so many factors that you have to take into account before you're just like, she was using self-defense in a stand your ground state. That doesn't really tell us anything. You don't know the rest of what's going on here. My gosh, these people, they just need to log off for 5 minutes. Maybe come to reality.
An officer shot her 4 times in the back and then yelled, "Blue lives."
They did not. They did not yell "Blue Lives Matter" over her dead body. I'm gonna try and find this real quick. I think this is it.
Yeah, because I just happened to look out my front door. I saw that cop car, 9142, sitting out there.
On Legion out east. Yeah, so.
This guy said it. You can tell. He said, "Blue Lives Matter." Crazy. That's this guy right here. You can tell that he's the one who said it.
East.
I don't know why these people were saying. There's so many people that are saying that they're saying
so.
it. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Especially at this place right now.
Yeah, it's definitely an insult. You sound stupid as fuck. Yeah, so.
That cop car,
Maybe they're saying that it's an insult that he's saying it.
9142, sitting out there.
On Legion out east. Yeah, so. Yep.
Especially at this place right now.
Yeah, it's definitely an insult. You sound stupid as fuck, bitch. Fuck.
That flag is a Blue Lives Matter flag.
The fuck that.
It sounds like he's saying, not that they said it, but that there's a Blue Lives Matter flag, and that's an insult.
The girl just got shot. Did he just say that? He said, well, Blue Lives Matter? He just said that? Boy, shut the fuck up, because Blue Lives don't matter right now. I don't want to hear none of that dumb shit. The fuck is you talking about? The fuck this 15-year-old just got killed, and you're talking about Blue Lives Matter? Get the fuck serious, bro. He shot her because she had a knife. He got out and didn't ask no motherfucking questions, and you talking about Blue Lives Matter? Man, get the fuck, man.
Who said Blue Lives Matter? Even if they did say that, there's no proof of it, because I can't even hear it. I don't know how anyone's making
matter over her dead body. In America, you can't be a black child.
Plus, even if that was the case, that they did say Blue Lives Matter, the guy did not say it over her dead body like this girl's saying. Man, these people twist the information so hardcore.
Who calls the police for help. And here's a hot take. You don't get to say her name unless you are in the streets fighting to dismantle and defund the police.
Oh my god. White knight for me some more, please. Please, God, please.
There is no reforming a corrupt system that is working exactly how it was intended to work. The entire damn tree is rotten, and white activists, it is our job to burn it the fuck down. 16-year-old Micaiah
Oh, do these people even believe what they're saying? I don't even believe that they're taking themselves seriously. This has to be really performative. Man, I think there's good BLM people. I'm not trying to hard that there's not good BLM people, but you're acting like a nutcase when you say this stuff and when you talk like that. What are you? Jeez, come to reality, please, please. All right, last one. I guess we'll watch the update real quick.
We originally stated that Micaiah had dropped the knife upon police arrival, according to...
We originally stated that Micaiah had dropped the knife upon police arrival, according to many news articles that were posted yesterday about this. So I didn't get to see this. I don't think I found this early enough, but I'm really interested if there were actually news articles that said that she had dropped the knife once the police arrived. I'm really, really, really interested to see if there was any news stations that said this. Because I think that's a pretty big thing. If the news stations messed up that badly, that's a pretty big thing in my book. I think it's good that they changed it. It seems like if that was the case, then they have, because almost every single one that I've read has said differently. It said, obviously that she did not drop the knife, because now they have the video proof to show that she did not drop the knife. But either way, I'm still interested if that was the case, because also, if it wasn't the case that these articles had said that she had dropped the knife, then that means all of these people like this are just making up crap. Totally just making it up. Or getting it from someone on leftist Twitter or whatever. In which case, is probably maybe even worse than the news stations getting it wrong, because the news stations have accountability, and that's why they've changed it already so fast. But these people, you don't know if they're gonna backtrack. There's so many people that have gotten stuff wrong on this situation that we've watched in like just this video, and they're never gonna walk back what they're saying because they totally believe that they're correct.
To many news articles that were posted yesterday about this. But now, due to body cam footage, we do know that she had a knife upon arrival. We want to make it clear that regardless of what weapon she was holding, no one deserves to be shot without warning. Especially a child. There are many other ways that police could have handled that situation without it reaching the extreme levels of violence and taking her life. We will, of course, update you with more information as we learn it.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
We'll see.
Today, just minutes
This was the original video, by the way.
after Derek Chauvin
This
was
one's pretty bad.
found guilty for the murder of George Floyd, a 15-year-old girl was murdered by a police officer in Columbus, Ohio.
Micaiah Bryant was living in a foster home when several adult women arrived at her home and
Began an altercation with her. Proof. Show me the article. Send me the link, please. Please, I'm calling out you. I will literally make this into a video, and I am going to at Gen Z for change. Okay? I'm going to put this on TikTok. Show me which article that you're citing that says that says that they started an altercation with her specifically. Please link it to me, and I will give you like some kind of brownie points. I'll send you $5 on Venmo if you can find me an article that says this. Honestly, I'm telling you, do it.
an altercation with her.
She grabbed the knife to defend herself while she called the police, her father, and her grandmother for help.
When police arrived, Micaiah was fending off a physical assault in the front yard, but had already dropped the knife by the time the police arrived.
So this is where this came from. When police arrived, fending off a physical assault in the front of yard. You don't know this, okay? You do not know that she was fending off a physical assault in the front yard. It could have totally been that you don't know. You just have no idea. You do not know, okay? And the police weren't there at that time, so we may never know. We'll just have to see.
Were on the scene.
A police officer then proceeded to shoot Micaiah 4 times with no warning. She died in the hospital later that afternoon.
What kind of warning is he supposed to give? He's literally saying like, drop it, drop it, drop it. Like he just got there, and she's about to put the knife in a girl. I don't understand. And by the way, let it be noted that you can look all this stuff up. By the way, let it be noted that the cops then did tend to Micaiah and the other girls that were on the ground. This is like the worst case you could use for BLM. Like, I don't even know how you can twist it any other way. Like, regardless of whether Micaiah is justified or not, there's pretty good reason to say that the cops were justified no matter what. Meaning that this case has nothing to do with BLM. It should have no correlation with BLM whatsoever. And if you are making it about BLM, then, man, you are doing some bad things for your cause.
Due to the shooting.
The Columbus Police Department stated that the 911 call had been about an attempted stabbing, but the information was disputed as false by those.
Wait, hold on. So the Columbus Police Department stated that the 911 call had been about an attempted stabbing, but the information was disputed as false by those on the scene. I haven't even heard this. I just think too much information has come out about these people. Jumped on it so fast. Holy crap! Oh my gosh.
Those on the scene.
Over 100 people gathered outside the Columbus Police Department tonight, shouting Black Lives Matter and
yeah, big mistake. You guys are making a big mistake. Because what the problem is that when you make a case like this, like a staple of your movement, maybe it's not like a big staple, but when you like add it into your list of people who were like unjustly shot by the police, when you bring that into your cause, now whenever someone who you want to get in that cause, which is most likely going to be conservatives who just totally believe that there's no problems with the police or whatever, when you're trying to explain to those people that they should join your cause, now you're going to have to wipe away or hand wave so much stuff about like cases like this. Like this is the same that happened with the one in St. Louis, East St. Louis. It was Michael Brown, I think his name. Like, that wasn't even a good case for BLM either. But when you try to bring people onto your side, now you're going to have to like, well, you know, this and this, like, okay, I guess I understand this. I guess I understand this. And now your cause looks really, really bad. Your movement looks awful because now you're having to like, you know, hand wave all this stuff that you were previously saying was unjustly killed. It's just not a good look. It's really, really, really bad.
Ma'Khia Bryant. We will keep you updated with more information. Today, just minutes.
All right. That's it for this one, boys. Keep on doing what you're doing. I'm going to have a video up soon of a discussion I had with Americana Hannah. And then also I'm going to be talking with Zane about anarcho-capitalism on Sunday. And I'll have that up soon too. Thanks.